Hi everyone, I am Aditya Sauri. So today our topic is file operations. In previous video we already seen this topic. So we have so many file functions: fopen, fclose, getc, putc, fscanf, fprintf, getw, putw, fseek, ftell, rewind. So theoretically we seen this topic, but now let us see and discuss this topic with examples. So in previous video we already discussed about fopen. So this function is used to open a particular file. So now we'll discuss all remaining predefined functions with the help of programs. Before going to the examples, let us read a definition. So file handling functions or file operations in C. The processing of files has number of operations according to the user's requirement. There are 3 file operations in C: naming a file, opening file, reading data from a file, writing data to file, closing file. Opening a file. A file has to be opened before performing read and write operations. Opening a file creates a link between the operating system and the file function. The name of the file and its mode to the operating system should be specified. One important task is carried out by the file structure that is defined in stdio.h header file. So here we can see the syntax of the opening file, and this thing we already seen in previous examples. Closing a file. The file that is opened from the fopen function should be closed after the completion of work. This can be done by using fclose function. Here we can see the syntax: fclose file pointer. This function closes one file at a time. Now let us discuss an example on fopen and fclose functions. So here we can see the two functions, fopen and fclose. So we already know what is fopen and fclose, and we can see this example in previous video only. So file, so here file is a variable, pointer variable, fopen. So it is used to open a particular file. So which file we have to open? sanju.txt. And here I used append mode. We already know what is append mode. It is used to open this particular file. If the file is not available, then it creates a new file with this name. So if file equal to null, the file will not be created. That means if the file is not there in disk, that means it is equal to null. That means it executes this statement. Otherwise the file will be open, and after opening the file, if we like to close that particular file, we have to use this function, and where our file is stored in this particular variable, so file variable. So fclose is used to close the particular file, only single file at a time. Now let us see another file operation, fputc. This function is used to input the text into a file. The file which is stored in the system we can store into a file. in character wise. For example, if we take a string in program, that string can be stored into a file. So we already know what is string, group of characters, but here we are using character function. So character means single alphabet, so single character. So it is used to store single character only, not all characters. So we can discuss this thing in a program, and before that program we can see here the syntax fputc character and file pointer. So here character means that characters which we store in a particular variable, and here file pointer is the characters which we have to store in the particular file. So here we can see the example also. So now let us discuss a program. So before going to the program, in that particular program I am using append mode. So here also I created one text file called Sanjeev. So now I am inserting some hi by data. So we already know what is append mode. So it does not erase the data which is stored previously. So here I am saving the file. Okay, now let us go to the program. So in this particular program I created a file. So it is a variable, pointer variable. We already discussed this thing in previous example. And char. So char is a primitive data type, and I created a variable with 20 size, and I am inserting a string into x variable called Sanjeev College. And for looping purpose and for length purpose I am creating two variables which belongs to integer data type. So here I created a string, and we don't know the length of the string. So one user will give more data, some users give some other different kind of data. But if we like to find out the length, we have predefined string functions called string length. So with the help of string length function we can find out the length of the character which is stored in x, that means Sanjeev College. And this thing is an integer mode, and that particular value I am storing in len. So actually when we are using string functions we have to import string.h header file. Without this header file these predefined functions cannot work. Okay, file equal to fopen. So our text name also sanjeev.txt, and I am using append mode, and here I am using to open the file, and the particular thing I am storing in file variable. Okay, if file equal to null, that means if the file is not available in the disk it cannot open the file else. So here I am using looping statement because we have more than one characters, and fputc works as per characters only, so it cannot store multiple characters at a time. So it stores step by step, like character after character, in that process only. So that's why here we are using looping purpose. So I equal to 0 and I less than length. So what's the length? Depends upon the size. Okay, so if the condition is true it jumps to the printf statement. That means it prints the single character which is stored in x of 0, because I equal to 0, 0 less than length, condition true. If the condition is true, one character will be print in the output screen. So x dot 0. So we already know the indexes values. So s is stored in 0. So by using printf I am printing that particular character in our output screen, and by using fputc I am printing these particular character in a file. So x of 0, that means s, will be stored in file. So here I gave file name as a file. So in sanju.txt, that particular character which is stored in x of 0 will be printed there also. After that xi++, so up to here task is completed for loop, and again the loop will go here i++. I++ means I value 1 less than length, condition is true. If the condition is true, it prints the character which is stored in x of 1 in output screen. After that it prints the character which is stored in x of 1 in file also. After that I++, I value 2 less than length, condition true. If the condition is true, it prints the character which is stored in x of 2 and also in file also. And I++, I value 3, so 3 less than length. If the condition is true, it prints the character which is stored in x of 3 and in file also it prints. So like this, it checks the condition and it prints the each character in system, that means output screen, and in file also. So at last the condition will be failed, file written successfully. After that we are closing the particular file. So now I would like to run this program. So Sanju College, file written successfully, and by using printf, the output will be print in the output screen, but we have to print this output into the file. So now let us go to the file. So here we can see Sanju College. So hi and bye I created previously, and now Sanju College is added. So in this way we can print the data on the output screen and in file, but it does not print the entire string at a time. So it prints character by character. So here I gave data constantly. If we like to give the data dynamically, we can create like that also. So printf so where we are storing in x. So now I would like to run this program. So I already compiling. So enter a name. Sanju College. So Sanju College written successful, and now let us go and check in file. So Sanju College, previous data also will be available here. So in this way we can use Ftst file operation. Now let us discuss another topic, Ftest. So in previous topic we discussed Ftst and here Ftest. So these two functions are used to store the characters into a file, but in Ftst it stores one by one character, that means one character after another. So group of characters it cannot store into the file, but in Ftest the group of characters will be stored or printed into a file at a time, because it is a string. We already know what is strings also. Okay, this function is used to put a string into a file, and here we can see the syntax just like as Ftst, and but it is strings. So here the character means the string which is stored into a particular variable, and here the file pointer, so the data which we like to print into a particular file. And here we can see the example also. Now let us discuss an example using Ftest. So these things we already discussed in previous example, and I created sanjeev.txt file in append mode. So if the file is not available also, it creates a new file with this name. So if the file equal to null, unable to create a file. If the file is available, of course the file will available, because here we are using append mode. If the file is there, it executes automatically. If the file is not there, it creates a new file with this name. So printf, so we are printing the string which is stored in X, and we are printing the string which is stored in X in file. So the data which is stored in X will be printed into the file, because we already know our file name is file pointer variable. So no need to give file name only, we can give any name also. So after that, print file written successfully, and after that I am closing the file. Now let us check the output. So I am giving Sanjeev name. So Sanjeev file written successfully. So in output screen we can see the data is written successfully. Now let us check the output into the file, whether it is written or not. So I am opening the file. So here we can see the output. So I already run this program, that's why it executed more than one time. So we already know what is append mode, so it does not erase the previous data. Okay.